It took my wife and I 2 years of constant work and struggles to get to this point, where we could start working on the interior of our house. For some moments I have to say that it felt like it was never going to happen. We have endured through a lot to get to this point, and we have been even very close of giving up and quit halfway there. But I realized that if you are constant enough and work towards a goal, sooner or later you find yourself very close to it, no matter how large the goal seems to be at the beginning. In our case, 2 months ago we were right there. We recently finished the exterior of the house, and the only thing left for us to do was to finish the interior. But like with any other big project, you need to divide what you need to do in different phases, so you can tackle smaller tasks and progress slowly. That is actually what we did. The first task that we decided to do was going to be to do the electrical installation. We started by this space. I have called it the studio in the past, but we find ourselves calling it workshop all the time, although it will be the second workshop that we have built, since, as you probably already know, we already built a building that we call the workshop here in the channel. So now we are calling it the workshop of the house. The first step was to clean the space, as we have been using it as a storage for the build, and it was full of dust and leftovers. Once the space was clean, we started laying out corrugated pipes. The red pipe that you can see here. All of our electrical cables will be inside these corrugated pipes. None of them will be naked. The main reason is to protect the cables, but also so we can later on add more cables in it in case that we need to make some changes. I could fit new cables and modify the installation in case that our electrical needs change in the future. In Portugal, the corrugated pipes need to be red for electrical and green for communications. Although not many people actually follow this rule, it costs you the same to do it right, so I stick to that rule. And this color coding might be different where you live, so make sure to check it before you start. This was during Christmas, as you can tell by the music we were playing. When installing corrugated pipe, I like to actually fit the cables at the same time, so I don't need to come back later on and do that. We finished the workshop electrical and quickly moved to the rest of the house. But we had one problem first. The floor of the house was still covered with the dirty protection that we put while building the structure, and it was staining the floor more and more. So after checking underneath it in a few spots and seeing how bad the floor was looking, we decided to remove it and clean the floor. We should have done this a while ago, if I'm honest, but we wanted to wait a little bit until the house was actually closed off, and since we now had the windows and doors installed, we could do it without worrying about the rain and dirt from the outside. As we were removing layers, we quickly realized that the concrete floor had suffered quite a bit during the build. It got very dirty and the stains will not come off no matter what we try. But we decided to worry about that on another day and just focus on removing the whole thing so we can continue working. I also decided it was a good moment to trim the membrane that was installed right underneath the blocking structure. As you're about to see, the floor was a bit better looking here at the kitchen area, which was a small win for that day. That same night I started doing research about what I could do to clean the floor properly and how to seal it, as it was going to be something I wanted to do very soon. My research landed me in a brand called Deepex, which offers a full concrete floor treatment that seems to be absolutely awesome. It is a treatment that goes from deep cleaning the concrete to sealing it to protect it for pretty much a lifetime. I will need to rent a big rotative sander slash polisher for that task, but I will show it to you once it is done. This is a few days later. As you can see, I'm very deep into the electrical installation. I have installed many corrugated pipes already, and as I went on, I made sure to do a clean and very neat job, laying everything very organized so I could easily see what went where, securing the pipes very neatly, and labeling all the pipes and all the cables so I could later know what was what. I have been using this electrical guide for the house, and it has been quite an upgrade from my previous one. I changed the head for the feeding head. Feed the guide through the pipe. And once it gets to the other end, I switch the head and screw the pulling head. With this head I secure the cables that I want to feed. And I go ahead and pull from the other end and print the flag labels. Of course, the one I was filming did not work and got stuck inside the printer. There it is. I need to actually print 2 labels, one for each end of the cable, so let's try to print again for the sake of this video. Labeling the cables, even if it sounds basic, is something that I need to do because I will 100% forget what things are. When you are actually doing the task, you think you will not forget at all, but as the build continues and you keep using your mind to solve further issues and details, I guarantee you that you will also forget what you have done 2 months ago. If I, for example, forget to label the cables, I could for sure figure it out again, what each cable was if I need it. I will just need to rethink the layout and figure it out, but I rather just have the label and read them instead of having to think all the time. That way I leave more room in my mind for unsolved problems. And this was my life for a few weeks, showing up at the house, feeding cables, crossing off the things that I did from the plan, and moving to the next one. It got dark early during that time of the year, so I found myself working at night often. I bought a very nice and powerful battery-powered light and spent long nights working with music on my headphones and finally starting to enjoy the interior of the house.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
I know you guys have been loving the 3D printer section that I started showing in last episodes, as I have received hundreds and hundreds of messages about it. So here is very quickly what I have printed this last month with my bambulab A1. Last year Ionia bought these Hey collapsible stack boxes and I really liked them, but unfortunately they were very expensive, so I did not buy any for my tools. But now I realize, hey, I can just print them at home for free. Then after the issue that we had with our massive broken glass panel, which by the way we will fix at the end of this episode, I have been scared of leaving this other glass door open as the wind swings it and might break the glass. So I went ahead and searched for door stoppers in the Bamboo Handy app and printed this nice looking one. As you can see, it is printed in 2 colors, black and red, since my printer came with the AMS that lets you print using 4 different colors that the machine changes automatically, which by the way is the only printer that offers multicolor printing at this price range. If you are a hands-on person like us, you will know how hard it is to prepare all the tools and material that you need for a job in advance. And I am currently working on a project, and midway in the project I realized that I was going to need packers. I did not have any, so instead of ordering online or going to the store and waste a full day of work, so I decided to print a bunch of them with different sizes in just a couple of hours and was able to continue working. I also printed a couple of items from our cabin that we have been needing lately. First, a surprise for Eugenia, 3 beautiful candle holders that she was in need for, that I printed using marble filaments, which came out extremely beautiful and she loved them. For the last project, I decided to switch filaments as I wanted to print in wood-like filament and matte black. So I switched the filaments in a minute. You just need to pull out the old ones and feed the new, and the printer automatically detects them and starts feeding them. I decided it was time to start protecting our marble coffee table from being stained all the time, so I went to the Bamboo Handy app, searched for coasters, and picked one that I like and printed them on the spot. And the printer is so quiet that even Lolita can sleep in her favorite spot while we print. Just printed tools and beautiful home items here on demand in the middle of nowhere. It is just mind-blowing and the possibilities are really endless. Finding these custom tools and decor to buy them online would have been very hard and time-consuming, so printing them at home is just a whole new level. And the best part of all of this is that I just spent a few euros in the filament that I used to print them, saving a lot of money. If you want to create your own custom tools and products for you and your loved ones, head to my link in the description to Bambulabs website and get your A1 or any of their other printers according to your own needs. Alright, I have worked for a few days behind the cameras. Well, I put the camera here and there, and I was able to finish all the electrical conduits, all the pre-installation of all the electrical for the studio, the office that is going to be in this room. The baby room, if we get lucky and have a baby, it's going to be here, and it's already pre-installed all the electrical that that room needs. And also we did our master bedroom, our master bathroom, and the walk-in closet. And now I am in the bathroom that is going to be shared. You are right now standing in the hallway underneath the skylight, and I am inside the bathroom. This bathroom is going to be open for the whole house, so anybody that is using the house can access to it. And our private bathroom is in the master, is inside the master bedroom. But anyways, I did some plans because at the beginning I was doing everything, just figuring out everything in my head, and figured after a few days that it wasn't a very good idea because I was already forgetting some outlets here and there and things like that, and it started becoming very complicated. So I decided to stop for a couple of days and draw this plan. And here in this bathroom it's gonna be very simple. I'm gonna try to film it and show you how I do the whole room. Basically we're gonna have three lights, but one light is gonna be above this area. Another light is gonna be where the shower area is, so on here on my left. And then we're gonna have another light in the mirror. So the mirror is gonna be lit by we don't know exactly what right now, but we know that it's gonna be a light there. So I need to prepare electrical cables to fit that light. And then we're gonna have two switches. The main one is gonna be here on the left. I wish I could put it closer to the door, but unfortunately we have all these structural bearing profiles stats that are there. I wish I would have seen it. I mean, they say Blocken sent the plans beforehand, but I didn't have my mind on the electrical at that time, so I didn't even check where things were in regarding electrical. But regardless of that, we're gonna be able to put the switches here. So I wish they would be closer to the door, but they're not. It's gonna be like that. Nothing I can do there anymore. So once we get to the bathroom, I can do like this and turn on that light, and the toilet warmer. We're gonna have a SEA. We're gonna have a SEA design toilet warmer, a vertical one in this case, with two vertical bars that are gonna be in that corner of the bathroom. So when I take a shower, if I end up using this bathroom, I can hang the towel there to get dry or to get warm before I get into the shower, which is very nice. So that needs one conduit per bar, so we're gonna have two bars, so I need to fit two conduits. I will need another switch here for this light, for the mirrors light. And also in that same area we're gonna have the outlet for above the sink area for things that you use, like so yeah, I'm gonna start. And also we have another switch that's gonna be so three cables, a line, a neutral, and a ground to the toilet, because the toilet is gonna be a smart toilet, and it needs connection, electrical connection. So I need to fit it also at the back of the where the toilet is gonna be hanging from. All these cables are gonna go to a connection box that I decided to do there. It's gonna be the same connection box that I have for this room, and that way I don't have, you know, normal residential, normal houses. You can see the electrical boxes everywhere. So if you go in a room and you search around the perimeter of the ceiling, you might find a plastic cover, where if you remove the plastic cover, you have all the cables and all the connections in there. I don't like that, so I'm gonna be putting all the electric boxes hidden inside wardrobes, so inside cabinets. Of course, they're gonna be accessible in the future in case that I need to do any changes in the electrical connections, but or if something doesn't work when we start turning things on, I can go back and, you know, see what's wrong and fix it. But they're gonna be hidden inside the cabinet. And since this area we only have one cabinet that is there, this bathroom and that room are gonna share that box. I did the same in the master. I used a cabinet. I'm gonna put a big connection box because there are a lot of cables, and I'm gonna be using one side of the cabinet as a place where I can make all the connections and then hide that panel with the cabinet, so in the inside you won't be able to see anything, and then if you open a little door, you will have the connection box behind it. That's pretty much it. Let me start working and I will show you how everything goes. Sometimes I needed to drill holes on the steel structure, since there were not always holes where I needed them, and I always followed the same approach. I drilled the hole, then vacuumed the area and painted the area with galvanized spray paint to protect the steel. Blockchain actually offers you the possibility to add holes anywhere you direct them to, but for that you need to have everything 100% planned out before you actually start building. And although I am a very organized person, I like to improvise some parts of our build and give some room for improvisation and design as I go, so things can be more flexible and natural, and let the building take shape depending on how I'm feeling.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
This day was again a week or so later. We were moving on to the kitchen and living room, and asked Eugenia and Aspen to help me with a bigger corrugated pipe that I needed to fit, and they were very happy to be helping, as you can see here. I have used 3 different sizes of corrugated pipe, 20mm, 25mm and 40mm, and I have been using one or another depending on the number and diameter of the cables that will go inside the pipe. There are rules written for this, so make sure you follow them, but as a rule of thumb, try not to fill the pipe too much, maybe, up to 40-50%. If you see that a pipe is getting way too much fill with cables, then just lay another corrugated pipe. It will make your life much easier to fit the cables, and also you avoid any possible electrical problems in the future from the cables overheating. In this case, we needed to fit a large 40mm one, and having Eugenia help on the other side to unroll it helped a lot. I could go much more in detail about the electrical installation, but it is one of those things that you either are interested on or not at all. In my case, I have learned to love it through doing it. I did not know much 5 years ago, and I have learned to do it by building our camper van, then the cabin, then the workshop, and now by building the house. So I feel very confident with my skills and knowledge. If you have any questions regarding this part, make sure to leave a comment and I will try my best to answer to you in the next video. Also, I have a video while building the original workshop that shows pretty much all the details and how to lay the cables, all the color codes, how they come together, etc. In that video I pretty much explain all I know about electricity, so if you are interested, make sure to go watch it. It is the episode number 17th of the workshop build series. Okay, with electrical installation completed, it was the moment to install the toilets. We are going to be having wall-hung toilets with concealed cisterns inside the walls, so we have to have a frame embedded in the wall where the cistern will be. We picked the WC3 Smart Toilet from Iconico. Iconico is a very high quality Spanish brand that also have very nice modern designs that I recommend you to look at in case that you are in need of good quality and nicely designed kitchen and bathroom fixtures. The first step was to cut to size the pipe. Then I lowered the legs and presented the toilet to mark where the feet needed to be screwed. I pre-drilled the metal with a metal bit and then I drilled the concrete with a concrete bit. And inserted a plastic anchor. And of course cleaned all the dust with my mini vacuum. With everything ready, I placed the frame in its place and locked the pipes. Threaded the bolts that will later hold the actual toilet. And sealed the pipe to protect them while we keep building. The toilet that we chose is a smart toilet, as I mentioned earlier, so it needs electrical connection. One of the features of this toilet is that it has an auto flash, so the toilet detects when you stand up and it flashes automatically, and this is the motor of the system, and I simply needed to attach it in place and connect all the cables. This toilet features a heated seat, warm pressurized water washing system and warm air drying for our intimate parts, so we will not be using toilet paper. All luxuries that are very far from what we have been experiencing for the past 4 years, and that we are both very looking forward enjoying. Alright guys, it's been a while. We have been working pretty much non-stop for the last few weeks, and look what's here. Look, oh my god, I cannot believe it. We got this window fixed last week, no? And it's been amazing to have it back. You know, like every time that I look, oh my god, it looks so good. ¿Quieres una corda?
Vai buscar uma fita de stores.
Sí. It was a big of an stretch to bring it here this time. We didn't want to spend much money in, we didn't want to spend too much this time, so we asked Ricardo what we could do to save some money to get this fixed. He spoke with the glass manufacturer owner, and the idea was to bring the glass directly to here with a truck with a crane that the glass manufacturer has, so we save one shipping and also the hiring the crane, which is kind of expensive. It's kind of like 700 euros, something like that. That's what we paid last time. So we saved that, but the issue was that the truck that the glass manufacturer has is huge, man. It was so complicated to make it fit. We didn't want to hit the house. I didn't want to hit the house. And then the crane was huge as well, and the ceiling where the glass is going is already done, so we were really close to hitting the ceiling several times with the crane, because the crane, as I said, as you can see, as I'm gonna be putting an image here, the crane was completely huge, so it was kind of stressful. I, of course, filmed the whole process of replacing the window, which started by removing the broken one. Saying that removing the broken window was a bit scary is a very big understatement. Remember that this is a 3x3 meter window, which weighs around 300 kilograms. With the broken side of the glass removed and with the crane in place, now the task was to remove the glass from its place. This window originally had double layer glass, but as you saw, it only broke the glass that is on the exterior side. So the idea was to remove the interior glass with the crane without breaking it. It goes without saying that it was a very tight and dangerous job. You are about to see it. We did not have any room whatsoever as the frame was already installed and could not be removed, and the exterior insulation and stack of the house was already finished, so we even had less room than when we originally installed it. Now the only way to remove the glass was to lift it from its place, and once the glass was literally floating in the air, weave it through the frame, which was not a small task considering the size and weight of it, and with the added problem that the glass could break at any moment, since as the exterior layer is now broken, it only had one layer of glass, and it was way too big for just one single layer of glass to hold all the weight, so it could crack and fall at any moment. That is why only 2 people were allowed to be next to it, so in case the glass broke, nobody would be underneath it.
Passou daqui não. Tens de puxar o bem para lá, ó Zé. Então, conforme tu esticas, ele faz. Para lá, já, para lá. Escute, é pá. Galou, ele é que não, ele é que sempre o que estou a fazer, está bem? Zé, para lá, isso. Para lá, duelo.
À medida que eu vou puxando, ele vai para lá.
Não, mas ó Zé, tens que rodar para lá.
Se vocês não trouxerem tanto, ela vai na direção que tu queres.
Claro, assim, não, mas tens que rodar sempre um bocadinho para lá.
Não, sim. Ela tem que fazer para aqui, não é para lá. Ela está, se ela puxar para lá.
Ou encolha lá assim toda.
Here we were so close to hit the ceiling. Teito. And here so close to hit the wall. You can see in this image here how warped the glass was from the weight, and now with the glass finally out of the house, we needed to actually place it securely on the floor. We really did not relax until the glass was securely placed on the floor. I could not believe that we had removed that damn glass without breaking anything. If I'm being honest, it had haunted me for almost 2 months, always thinking how difficult it was going to be to do it without damaging anything. And now it was finally out. But I did not have much time to enjoy that victory, as we quickly moved to do what we were all waiting for, to give the final touch to the house, to fix what it should have not been wrong, to complete what should have been already completed. It was going to be the most difficult task that we had done for this build so far, installing a 300 kilograms massive piece of glass through a hole with actually 0 room and using a massive crane. All of it around a pristine finished house waiting to be hit and broken at any time. So I left you guys on the tripod and we all chimed in, helped with all we had to control the glass and got it done.
Thank